When you start working out, we see in the magazines, we see online a lot of influencers, online personalities, bodybuilders who compete, and then those who don't, who have tremendous physiques. I mean, we're talking about, these are dinosaurs walking on the earth with next to low zero body fat. How big do you think you could get as a natty, as a natural, without steroids, without growth hormone, without insulin or any performance enhancing drugs? This is a humongous question, and it's answered only once you get into the training and you get into the diet and give it everything you got. There you have it. No, I'm kidding. We can't end the video right there, can we? Let's keep going. All right. So what are we talking about here? As a natural, when you start working out, we see in the magazines, we see online a lot of influencers, online personalities, bodybuilders who compete, and then those who don't, who have tremendous physiques. I mean, we're talking about, these are dinosaurs walking on the earth with next to low zero body fat, and they have loads of muscle. So a beginner just getting into it, who's aspiring to get as big as they can get, compete, do the best they can in bodybuilding, it's in their heart to do it. How big can you get? And there are certain standards that have been shown over the years, so I just wanted to go over a few of them with you and also show you some of the, some of the extremes of what we're talking about here, okay? So within the realm of natural bodybuilding, I'm talking about, and lean muscle mass is what I'm talking about. Anybody can bulk up 100 pounds and eat themselves fat. That's not what I'm talking about here. If you're going to go ahead and you're going to get yourself involved in bodybuilding and you want quality muscle gain, then you have to think in terms of fat-free muscle mass being gained or gaining with as little body fat as possible over the years. So even if you're cycling up and down for competition's sake, going with a little bit of a bulk in the off season and then coming down and dieting any excess fat off, getting your body fat down low into the single digits, you pretty much have an answer as far as where you stand annually. And each year, if you're going to put on 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds of lean mass, that's pretty good. That's really good. But is that the way it is from the beginning? No, it's not. There's a thing called newbie gains, okay? That's what most people call it. Newbie gains is that first, special year of training. And within that first year of training, a full-grown man, 6 feet tall or so, average, right? 6 feet, 165 pounds, fairly thin. You know, he can go ahead and he can pack on 20. I've seen some guys, and myself included, within the first couple of years, put on 25 pounds of lean mass. So that's very, very possible. Without drugs, naturally, you have to have a propensity to grow muscle mass. That's for a fact. But is that common? Well, across the board, we've seen. I've trained now people for, almost 4 decades. So we're going about 38 years right now. And I've trained a lot of beginners. Okay, so my experience is having trained not just myself, but also thousands of beginners at this point. Having done so, if I stick to I'm going to give you a male and a female perspective and give you some averages of what I have witnessed of lean muscle mass gains. On the male end, in the first year of training, that special year, this is the maximum that they're going to see if they train right. If you train right as a beginner, you're looking at 15 to 25 pounds of lean mass. On the female end, we're looking at, let's call it 8 to 15 pounds of lean mass. That would be on a bell curve, the average, right down the middle. On the ends, we have some extremes. On this end over here, let's call this the low end. You're looking at, with the men, under 15 pounds of lean mass. If you've trained correctly, eaten correctly, and you still can't put it on, well, you have poor genetics for growing muscle. Under 15 pounds. With the women, on this end, the low number I gave you was 8 pounds, under 8 pounds of lean muscle mass. On this end over here, we have, on the high end with the men, I said 25 pounds. Yeah, Yes, yes, sir. some men about 6 feet tall with a nice frame, could be about 165, 170 pounds, something like that of lean mass. They've definitely put on muscle to where they put weight at the end of that year, 190, 195, or a few pounds more than that. And then the women, of course, at the high end of the bell curve, remember my bell curve, over 15 pounds of lean mass, which is pretty amazing, pretty spectacular. You have to have some really great genetics for putting on lean muscle mass. It's a gift from God through your parents at that point in time to have those kind of genetics. So I've written a book called Year One in the Beginning, and this is something that I put together during the beginnings of the pandemic back in 2020 and published it, and it does cover how to maximize your gains in that first special year of training. Because we want to maximize it to get it to where we've accomplished a lot of what we're able to do genetically in that first year. That's a humongous amount of lean muscle mass to put on naturally without drugs. I'm only speaking in that context right now. In the second year, whatever you put on that first year, it's going to be about half or less of what you did in the first year. And then from that point on, it's a battle. Put on just a few pounds of muscle each year, annually. So I cover all of that in Year One in the Beginning, and I'll put that up on the screen for you all. You can see what the cover looks like, and I'll put the link down below in the video description of this video. You can download it off my website or get a hard copy off of Amazon. Comes with workouts, pictures, descriptions, diet, exercise, the whole thing. So having said all of this, where does this leave the natural? Encouraged or discouraged? Well, we have to just change our parameters. That's what I find. I'm going to put some pictures up here too of what world champion natural bodybuilders look like, both male and female, and you can see for yourself what they look like, okay? And all along the way, you'll get the idea that our parameters have to change. You cannot be studying the physiques on your Instagram who never compete, by the way. Well, if they had such great natural physiques and they could be a natural world champion, don't you think they would have done it? Don't you think it would help their resume to be known as a world natural champion? Don't you think it would expand their marketplace to be known that they are drug-free, that they did what they did and accomplished the physique that they did without any assistance whatsoever? I believe it would, but they don't, because in a lot of their cases, it's just not true. And they've used the bodybuilding chemicals, the performance-enhancing drugs to get where they are. So there's a little reality check for you as well, okay? So we cannot look at Instagram or social media. We cannot look at IFBB pros of any type, classic bodybuilding, women's physique in the IFBB, because they're not natural, all right? So our parameters, let's just adjust them for natural bodybuilding. I competed as a natural pro after I won the Mr. America, the Natural Mr. Universe. I competed as a natural pro in the WNBF, the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I have to say, this is the one organization out there that does real drug testing as well as off-season testing. So it's not just as you show up for a contest. And it's not just polygraph. You have to supply a urine test as well. So this is the actual, and also as a former promoter within that organization, my wife, myself, we promoted a contest within that organization for years. We got the annual list of who flunked the tests so that we wouldn't let them compete in our show. And there was a list. So the drug testing is very, very real. So that's it. I highly recommend the WNBF. Look on their website, worldnaturalbb.com. I'll put that down below. Also, in the video description, you can go ahead and check that out for yourselves as well. And as I said, you've now seen some good natural physiques coming across your screen. So that's it for today. From my heart to you, John Hart. I want to welcome you back. Come on back and check out some of my 350 or however many videos I have up right now on my channel, Mr. America Hart. And if you want any other downloads that I've done, I have Physique 101. Covers everything from beginning all the way through advanced training with several routines in there. I'll put that also up on the screen right here. You can get that download through the same website, MrAmericaHart.com. I look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, before you go, I'll be remiss if I didn't point out off to my left, you're going to see right here, this disc that is the subscribe button for my channel. Please, if you're liking my videos, please give that thing a tap, and YouTube will notify you when I have a new video pop up. Down below, off to your left, you're going to see a thumbs up right down there, down there, down there. That thumbs up button. If you like this video, comment on it down below, share on it. Just give it a share, and then also give it the thumbs up. That helps the channel a lot. I'll see you next time.